I'm here today with Steve M4 of Abandoned fame. He's got his own YouTube channel. There'll be a quick interview with Steve in a separate video, but today I'm here to look at the Castlefield Viaduct, or viaducts.
Yes, so Castlefield has well, firstly, it's a castle. It's based off a Roman fort. That's where it gets its name. And a lot of the bridges around here have castellations and crenellations on top of them, arcing back to that. But Castlefield is also very well known by people who are huge fans of infrastructure, who are very, very interesting people, might I add, for having just way too many bridges. Like, there's just a severe amount of bridges here. There's canals, railways on top of railways, railways next to those railways, and other railways going under those railways. It's just an obscene amount of bridges.
Yeah, so if you get the train into Piccadilly, you'll see all those bridges, and every time I've passed them I've been fascinated by them. Now, there's an abandoned viaduct that was abandoned in, well, it wasn't really abandoned, but it was disused in 1960, and the National Trust are currently turning it into a garden which people will be able to go on to. It should have been open this month?
It should have been open this month, but there's been a delay. I'm not entirely sure the reason why. I was going to go up and do a video on it myself with Chris, but this is what you're getting instead. But I'm no doubt when it's fully open, each of us probably will make a video about it, because we're going to walk fully along this abandoned viaduct that's been turned into a sky garden, which in itself is pretty cool.
Yeah, so basically I've got loads of footage of the viaduct itself. You can see a little bit of work going on, but what I thought I'd do is let Steve do a little bit of history about the viaducts and tell you a little bit more about them, because he's really good at that kind of history stuff, which I'm not so good at. So yeah, I'm going to leave you with the soothing voice of Steve telling us a little bit more, and he's going to do all the hard research as well for me, which is a bonus.
I've got to actually go home and do that now. Why have you literally just assigned me homework?
I have, yeah. But as a plus point, there'll be a link to his YouTube channel, which I suggest you go and subscribe to, in the description below.
Hi, I'm Steve from Abandoned, and this is me talking about a bridge. So what is there to say about this bridge? Well, for one, it's built in the west of the city. This is Manchester, and it's built down here to the west, and it is the site of the Roman fort as well. So right on top of a Roman fort, you've got all this railway and canal infrastructure in the Castlefield basin. The bridge goes right over the top of the old Bridgewater Canal as well. There are actually two bridges in this one place. You've got one here, that's the older one, and this one here is the newer one, and the older one's the one that's still in use. The newer one is the one that we're looking at today. That's disused and abandoned. This was a relief bridge built by the Cheshire Lines Committee to take trains from the old bridge into GMEX and the GNR warehouse on Deansgate, and it was built to relieve the slightly older bridge. Built in 1888 by MWG Scott, the CME of the Cheshire Lines Committee Midland Railway, it is of cast iron construction, and it hasn't fared too well over the years. Being made of iron, it succumbs to rust and other such decaying factors that happen with iron when you put it over a large body of water. However, the National Trust have come to its aid. They are building a garden on the top of it, making it a high-level, high-rise garden, as they've done in other parts of the world. Not the National Trust, but people in general. I believe there's one or two in France. Tim Traveller has done a video on them. We sadly didn't get to see the National Trust doing the conversion, as you would be able to get tickets to go up there mid-conversion. However, the tickets had sold out or had been stopped due to health and safety reasons. So we just had to take some photographs from the ground and wherever we could. I also got distracted and took quite a lot of footage of trams. And now, back to your regular scheduled programming of Rail Focus.
Thanks, Steve. That was most interesting. Yeah, thank you again. Don't have very much to add to that, other than I would be interesting to see what your thoughts are on this linear park idea that National Trust are going forward with. Do you think it's a good idea that they're preserving the viaduct and putting it to good use? Or do you think that Network Rail or the Manchester Combined Authority should be maintaining it, looking for ways perhaps to use it for other purposes such as active travel or adding capacity to rail or metro? I think, in my opinion, it is a good idea if it helps preserve the bridge for decades to come. That could obviously only be a good thing. And as for rail capacity, the main pinch point seems to be between Manchester Oxford Road and Piccadilly, so adding capacity to the west really wouldn't be much use at this time. But let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm going to leave it there, but just before I do, I'm going to say do visit Steve's Abandoned channel. There'll be a link to that in the description below, and if you've found this video informative, please do hit that like button and consider subscribing. It really does help the channel to grow and get noticed. But I'm going to leave it there for today. Say until next time, bye bye.